Who had unlimited power? Who is missing? Who's been found? And who isn't what they appear to be? Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we'll be looking into some of these most exciting questions, answers, and mysteries as we count down the top 10 DC Future State shocking moments. Oh, so shocking. A word of warning to all who would proceed. This is a shocking moment list, so there are definitely going to be some spoilers ahead for DC's Future State. So if you aren't immersed in the world and you don't want events revealed or spoiled, proceed with caution. If, on the other hand, you are down for all of that, then yay and good, and let's get counting. Number 10, Dr. Phosphorus's fate. We still aren't sure if Dr. Phosphorus will pull through, but we are sure of how passionate Astrid Arkham is about ensuring his survival. She is the Arkham Knight and the leader of the Arkham Knights, appropriately, in Gotham, made up of the criminals and the criminally insane former patients of Arkham Asylum. I actually really enjoy the idea of this surprising, heroic, and loyal team who would follow Astrid to their deaths. In fact, in Future State, the next Batman issue number 3, it looks like Dr. Phosphorus may have just done that, dying, having suffered for so long and simply wanting to give in and just rest. But Astrid won't let him, and as heartless as that sounds, it actually comes across as fervently caring. Phosphorus gets shot down in their latest battle, and now it's up to the medical team at their home base to save his life. It's kind of hard because I'm like, for Phosphorus, I feel like him passing away wouldn't be bad, but I feel like for Astrid, I want him to pull through. I don't know. Number 9, Superman punches the sun. I don't know if this one was like super shocking in terms of reveals or anything like that, but it was shocking in a character development giggle-inducing sense, which I think is a form of shock. Happy shock? In Future State Superman / Wonder Woman issue number 2, we get a little trading spots moment between Wonder Woman and Superman. While Superman battles the sun god, not really believing in gods himself, he ends up deciding to just go with it a little more, rather than trying to explain away what's going on or dismiss it. In fact, he actually embraces it so much, he faces it head on, punching the sun god, and thereby defeating him. Much to Wonder Woman's surprise, and much to my enjoyment, and hopefully your enjoyment too. Number 8, Slam Bradley's nightclub. Not only was it surprising to see Slam Bradley running a nightclub, but it was also equally surprising a few pages later when a shootout happened there. Oh no! Although, I mean, we are in Gotham, and this is Gotham City Sirens that we're talking about, so maybe I shouldn't be too surprised. However, I was shocked and crestfallen to see Bradley get shot and likely killed again, and to see Catwoman herself get shot and wounded again. Also, how many times has Selina taken a bullet now in the comics? Jeez, I feel like it's happened enough that it could have its own list. Poor Catwoman. Someone count the bullets in the comments. Number 7, Yara Flor leaves the Justice League. This was a shocking one for me. Although we didn't see it specifically happen in real time, it was alluded to in the Superman / Wonder Woman comic that at the time that comic takes place, Yara is no longer part of the League. I love her reasoning behind operating the way that she does too, and not being a part of the League. She has a really powerful speech where she kind of just talks about how she doesn't want to be a part of the system because it never changes, which is apparently how she always is able to anticipate that the Amazon rainforest will catch fire, because it kind of always does. There are always people ready to take advantage and find new ways to game the system. So she doesn't want to be any part of the system. She's like, people wouldn't like worry about having to deal with me if I was part of the League, because I'd be like part of them in a way. But I love it. Number 6, Bat in Peril. I thought the cliffhanger ending in the next Batman issue number 2 was a doozy personally, and then issue number 3 came along. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know this is Batman, and although he's a new Batman, he can likely get out of almost any predicament, because that's just what Batman is known for being good at, no matter who is underneath that cowl. I'm sure Jace can handle himself, but also Can he? I'm concerned. At the end of issue 2, we saw Jace as Batman confronted by a bunch of peacekeepers, forced to surrender. In issue number 3, we see how he gets out of that, only for him to end up being attacked and then strangled by the civilians that he's actually trying to help, who are sort of vigilantes in their own right, who decided to actually take justice into their own hands when they believed the system had failed them. Now, Batman is probably going to be able to get out of this one too, but I honestly cannot wait to read how that happens. This story started off slow, but the last few issues have really just started to pick up for me, and I've really been enjoying them. Starting to really like Jace, and I feel like we still don't know a lot about him, but I'm just liking the mystery too of like trying to figure out more about him with his little hints. Number 5, Teen Titans Academy. In the Teen Titans comic, we appear to be at a very devastating point in superhero history, filled with flashbacks. This series takes us back to a happier time when the Teen Titans members acted as teachers at their very own academy that they had opened. In their present day, however, we see them taking on a great threat which emerged, destroying the academy years ago and killing many of their pupils, teachers, and friends in the process. At least I think it was years ago. I don't really know how long ago it was, so I'm kind of just guessing there. This is a pretty shocking and bleak future that just makes us wonder more about how exactly we're brought here using the magical superhero amulet known as the H-Dial. How did this great threat, how exactly did it get unleashed? Because like we see a bit of it, but still a little mysterious. Number 4, Bruce Wayne on a train. I just like that it rhymes. This was a reveal that happened near the end of Catwoman issue number 1. Yes, spoilers. Reminder of that warning I mentioned before we started counting here, because this one was a nice little surprise that I found in Catwoman issue number 1, where we follow Selina on a very interesting train heist, on a train full of the magistrate's passengers / prisoners. They're prisoners. That's what they are. Catwoman ends up freeing and teaming up with Automatopoeia, while an in-disguise Talia al Ghul ends up finding what appears to be Bruce Wayne. But is it really Bruce Wayne, or could it be an imposter or a clone? So many thoughts flew through my mind at this ending. Either way, a very delightfully surprising cliffhanger ending to that issue. But we'll have to wait for Catwoman 2 to find out more. Number 3, Black Lightning. Shocking in the literal sense of the word as well. Jefferson Pierce received a major upgrade in Future State, although it seems a bit unstable to start. It seems that somehow his body was transformed into what looks like pure black lightning, making him a more deadly and unstoppable force, one that can also utilize his energy to move through others or travel into objects. How did this happen? In the next Batman issue number 3, in the continuation of the Outsider story, we gotta learn a little bit more about that, though it still remains pretty mysterious. What we're told is that this transformation came from magic and was caused by Black Lightning fighting the wrong magician at the wrong time, but for the right reason. So that's all we know for now, but I honestly cannot wait to learn more. Super cool to see him this powerful. He reminds me of Dr. Manhattan a bit, like the whole look. I like it. Number 2, where's Barbara? I just love the full page reveal for this one. In the Batgirl story that was included in Future State, the next Batman issue number 2, we learn about a plot to try and save Batman, who Cassandra Cain was led to believe is actually locked up somewhere in the Magistrate's detention facility, potentially being held somewhere deep, deep underground, and being held prisoner there. Dun dun dun. However, at the end of the comic, it's revealed that while Cassandra was right about where the signal she was tracing was coming from and kind of leading her to, it turns out that it wasn't Batman who was kept there, but instead was none other than Barbara Gordon, aka Oracle, aka Batgirl herself. I like how I said that like it was a huge reveal, but from the name at this point and then my little bit of story, you're probably like, I know where this is going. Reveal. Number 1, the 4 horsemen. Probably one of the most shocking reveals has been that Future State seems to be actually building to something grander than all of its just neat, weird, and pretty little parts. In Teen Titans, we saw a glimpse of this coming together when it was revealed who were the main adversaries in Teen Titans issue number 2. Here we see the 4 horsemen actually all appearing to be somewhat recognizable recognizable characters. While some are more recognizable than others, I'm sure, depending on what you're reading, the fact that they have been featured or hinted at throughout this event, or line, whichever you prefer to call future state, popping up in various different stories was pretty surprising and neat. In fact, it's said that the more future state comics you read, the more hints you'll actually have towards the major overarching plot and what it's about, and how all these stories kind of connect with one another. What have been some of your favorite moments from Future State? Which series are you most excited about? Which mysteries are you most eager to uncover? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Worst Things That Happened to Black Widow. Cesar Alejandro comments, I love Black Widow and the crap that she has went through over the years is so sad. I hope she triumphs and takes down all the villains in her life. Natasha is a force to be reckoned with. I cannot agree with you more. I think that that is definitely what deserves to happen for her, and yeah, she's a force. Carl Charleston suggests Amanda could play as Black Widow. I just love that in the comments for this, there's just so many people being like, Black Widow, Batgirl, Batwoman. It's like this weird argument in the comments for that comment. Also, thank you. Please cast me as whoever you want, and if you know anyone that is casting those movies, yeah, hit them up, tweet them, do something, and maybe it'll happen one day. I would love to play Batgirl. I think that'd be really, really cool. I'd love to play Black Widow too, but I feel like ScarJo's already crushing it. And then, yeah, I feel like Batwoman's also taken right now. So yeah, I'll go with Batgirl though. I will go with that, and they are doing a movie for it. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, reminding you, as always, my friends, to stay nerdy.